name is Key, like a key in the door, but I don't spell it that way because I'm fancy.
My name is Melvin Antoine Whitehead.
My name is Lation.
My name is Damian. My name is Justice Poetic Heart Rome.
My name is Foxworth Vaughn.
My name is Rome Muzan, also known as Taiku Alpha. Angelo.
Jay Douglas Kuzzle Saseki Truesdell.
I am 31 years old.
I am biologically 39.
I am 28 years old.
I am 28 years old.
37 years old. Yeah, my birthday was like 2 days ago.
30. All right.
30. I just turned 30 last week.
I identify as a black trans man. My sexual identity is fluid.
I identify as gay, a black transgender man, and I came out as transgender when I was about 25 years old.
My gender identity is that of a boy, even though I'm 39. Sexual identity, I am very, very gay.
My gender identity, I would say, is trans-masculine. Somewhere along the spectrum. I'm really not binary. My sexual identity is, I think the best descriptor is queer. You know, I think people are beautiful, and if I really click with someone, I don't care about their gender identity or what they identify as long as they are cool with me. So.
My gender identity is female. I look like a man, but I feel good, you know, with all the extra good stuff. My sexual identity, I really don't have one. I'm just here, out here.
And how do you identify gender-wise?
Transgender.
Okay. And your sexual identity?
Gay.
Okay. Me too.
And I identify as a trans-masculine, genderqueer person, and I identify as queer.
I am a transgender man with bipolar syndrome, kind of an extreme form, but you know, I've been on HRT since I was like 13. I'm bisexual.
How do you identify gender-wise?
Gender-wise, NA, I don't know.
You don't know how you identify?
I'm not. Gender-wise, male.
Male? Okay.
I didn't think that was like a question.
It is a question because some people identify as trans,
female.
Some people identify as FTM, some people identify as genderqueer. Do you identify just male?
That's what's on my ID. That's what's on my license. That's what's on everything.
So just male.
That's what it is.
Okay. Sexual identity. What do you identify or do you not identify?
I don't identify with anything.
You just like what you like.
I just like what I like.
Understandable. Okay. So coming out as trans.
As trans?
How was that for you?
Well, I think I have to start a lot earlier than coming out as trans.
What you gotta do?
Because first I was a feminine, cisgender, straight person. And I always mirrored my partner. So I was a feminine, cisgender, straight person. And then I was a feminine, lesbian. And then I was an androgynous lesbian. And the only time I felt like I was faking is when I was a masculine lesbian. I was like, what? I looked in the mirror and I was like, who the fuck is that? And so I figured out I can be a feminine guy. I don't have to be masculine to be a guy. But I feel transgender, not male or female.
Understandable.
And that's really important to me because there's a big difference between people who change from one side of the binary to the other side of the binary. So.
Okay. So coming out, family-wise, friend-wise, socially, how was that for you?
It was difficult, but it's okay. I mean, it's better now.
But when you initially came out,
it was a hit and miss. I didn't tell a lot of my family because everybody already knew, you know what I'm saying? But when it came to my immediate family, I made sure that they knew exactly what was going on. But because my family lived with the Joneses, quote unquote, had to live with the Joneses.
Did you lose any friendships or anything?
Nah.
Everybody was just, and nobody had any problems with pronouns or anything like that?
I always got problems with pronouns, always. I think it's a given fact.
My coming out story is I first identified as a butch. I had my first kid when I was 16.
How many do you have?
I have one daughter. I was pregnant 3 times in my life as a trans person. It didn't really work out too well. So, I had an abortion, and then the last time it was just a bad idea to get pregnant in the first place. For the most part, coming out was kind of like a breeze because I already knew what I wanted. In the beginning, I knew I wanted muscles, I wanted a little bit of facial hair, and I just wanted to be comfortable looking the way I felt on the inside. Once my transition started, I noticed that my preference for different things started to change. My urges for different sexual activity changed. My sexual partners also changed. I don't really care for gender boxes or gender labels or orientation labels or such things like that because I look a certain way but I don't feel the same way.
Coming out story is kind of long. To make it brief, my body was not developing in the way that I wanted it to, and I was in boarding school, so I was kind of lucky because my school helped me out with everything, and that's kind of about it.
My coming out story. I am LGBT. I used to live as a straight woman. Then I was bisexual. Then I was a lesbian. Then I was trans. Now I'm gay. So I'm LGBT.
I had seen this documentary about transgender people, and something in watching that documentary clicked sort of within me, and I started thinking about it a lot, like the documentary and people that were in it. And shortly thereafter, I moved to Michigan to start grad school. And the very first person I met was a transgender guy in my program. And I had all these questions, and I was going through all these things. I was moving away, starting grad school, going through a breakup and all these things. And this guy was just like really helpful with all the questions I had about my gender and helped me sort things out. And so through my conversations with him, and also through participating in a GLBT Speakers Bureau for students at my grad school, I came to realize that I was transgender, and then that's how it happened. I started my physical transition a year after that.
Coming out story is always about revolution. I came out in 99, 98 when Rita Hester was murdered. And I coordinated this thing called the Truth Rally because I was tired of being separated in all of my identities, and it was time for me to bring it together.
And I came out the closet when I was 16. I came out as a bisexual girl, and then a couple of years after that, I was like, I went to a women's college, and then when I went to a women's college, after my first week at women's college, I was like, I'm a lesbian. And then after that, I was like, I'm not a lesbian. And then I came out as trans when I was about 22, and I've been on T for 4.5 years.
My coming out story, it can be a little complicated because first I came out as a lesbian. Then first I came out as bisexual, then as a lesbian, then as a trans man, then as a straight trans man, and then as a queer trans man. So they were all different. And the most traumatic ones I think was first when I came out as a lesbian to my parents. That was pretty traumatic. And then coming as transgender to my parents. And at the time also my partner, because we were both identifying as lesbians and we were together. I think those were the most difficult parts of my transition. The advice I would give my younger self is to always love myself regardless of the body that I'm in, because looking at me now was a hard, long journey of trying to make myself healthy first and then being able to transition. So if the transition in your heart is based on love, then you will be healthy. It's not the container that you're in, it's the fierce spirit that you're in.
If I could give advice to my younger self, it would be to not to expend so much energy trying to be someone that I'm not and trying to emulate what other people are doing. I think so much of my youth and even young adulthood was spent trying to live according to other people's expectations, trying to fit in with a particular group. When in reality, you know, my truth is my own, and that's what I need to be focused on.
My younger self. I think that identities are great, but you should be careful not to stick yourself in a box too much. Yeah.
If I could give advice to my younger self, I would just say, go with what your heart tells you. I spent a lot of time wondering about if people were going to be happy with my decisions, if my parents were going to be happy with my decisions, if my partner was going to be happy with my decisions. And I spent too little time wondering if I was happy myself. Something that I keep saying on and on is that if I had known that transitioning was going to feel this good, I would have done it way back.
All right. Thank you.
Probably that it's not that deep, because I probably freaked out about all the things that are happening and realizing that at the end I'm still a very happy, healthy adult, and what I thought success was when I was younger is not the same, and so I feel happy and successful, and it's not what I ever thought I was going to be, but I'm totally happy. So.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I would have given my younger self any advice because everything that I've gone through has made me stronger, and all of my insecurities have made me like work out harder and eat right and do everything I was supposed to do. So insecurities are positive. Just use them to, benefit.
So that's what you would tell your younger self. Use your
Yes, exactly. Yeah. See something out.
All right.
I don't know. I don't have no advice for my younger self. I really don't, because I was always me. I was always myself. I promise you, I was. So I can't give any advice to my younger self because I respect all the struggles and all the attributes and all the endeavors.
Okay. So what I'll ask you then is, would you have transitioned earlier if you would have known what you know now?
I would have, but it would have been out of because I wanted to, not because of maturity. I'm okay with the age that I did, when it happened, because other than that, it would have been, I just wanted to do it because that's what I knew I wanted to be and everything. No. That would have been messed up because once again, I'm educated and the brain is not fully developed at that point in time.
So you're happy with when you transitioned?
I'm totally okay with making a transition at the age that I did as an adult, not as a kid.
Thank you. What advice would you give? What advice would you have given to your younger self?
Oh, God. It wouldn't have been about being transgender. I have suicidal depression, and so if I knew more about how to keep myself safe and do self-care and being worthy of life, that's what it would be about.
So you would educate yourself on being a happier you.
Yeah, like suicide prevention to myself.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much.